Elizabeta, a second-year law student at Lucian Blager University, had been paying for her board and tuition with an evening shift in an all-night shop on Strada Bolescu, and was now so used to strange customers that she was rarely without a canister of pepper spray in her purse. Nonetheless, the two that came in this evening were enough to awaken even her inewed sense of amazement. They were both exceptionally beautiful young women, though one, a dark-haired, possibly Roma girl of about 20, was apparently blind, to judge from the dark glasses she wore on this chilly winter night, and, sadly, confined to a wheelchair. This was a curiosity in itself, a heavy, wooden, antique device, that looked as if it belonged in a Victorian Gothic novel. Appropriately, therefore, the invalid wore a long, pink gown, heavy with floral lace and satin ribbons, looking for all the world like an overgrown doll. This effect was not in the least harmed by her clear, porcelain-like skin, nor by her vacant expression, nor by the fact that she kept sucking her thumb. The other woman, who maneuvered the ungainly hulk of a wheelchair with amazing ease and dexterity, was fair-haired, in her mid-30s or thereabouts, and attired very bravely in a light, shift-like dress of black lace, over sheer tights that were equally an invitation to frostbite. If she was feeling the cold, however, she concealed it brilliantly, and the only evidence of any discomfort was the fact that she was persistently blinking. Eye problems were obviously rampant in this family, and Elizabeta did not doubt that the pair were related, not that they shared a great deal of resemblance, aside from their clear, almost shining skin, but there seemed almost to be a rapport, an aura, a spiritual bonding. Elizabeta gave up trying to find a term for this vague intuition of her overworked brain, and attended to her duty. "May I help you?" she asked, having noticed that the able-bodied woman was looking around with some confusion. "Have you any disposable diapers?" she replied. "Large ones, preferentially. Something that will fit my daughter, here. She has problems." That was apparent. Poor girl, thought Elizabeta, but felt warmth and admiration for the mother. How many of that invalid girl's generation, born disabled and especially to such young mothers, and probably in the declining years of Ceausescu's inhumane regime, as well, had been abandoned to rot and starve away in those death factories perversely known as the state orphanages? In spite of her disabilities, this girl had been fortunate indeed in her parentage, at any rate. Even so, there was something inescapably pitiable in such a lovely creature being condemned to a half-life of darkness, immobility, incontinence, evidently, and idiocy. She had taken her thumb out of her mouth now, allowing Elizabeta a much clearer view of her sweet face, not much obscured by the small, round lenses which now seemed to be looking directly at her. Perhaps she was not completely blind, after all. Pretty lady play with Mickey? She thought for a fleeting moment that the invalid girl had spoken, but her mouth had not moved, nor had her mother reacted, so she put the disturbing impression she had received down to tiredness and an overactive imagination. The girl returned to sucking her thumb again. "Please don't stare at my daughter," admonished the mother, gently, but still making Elizabeta feel painfully like some peeping Tom or a spectator at a freak show. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean she's beautiful," stammered Elizabeta, feeling wretchedly foolish, though it seemed to soften the fair lady considerably. She smiled, and stroked her daughter's hair, causing her to murmur softly, with incoherent pleasure. "Yes, she is. Very beautiful, aren't you, Mikal? Though rather a handful. Now, if we might return to the question of those diapers, my dear." As Elizabeta apologized again, and directed her odd customer to the baby care products, neither of them noticed the black saloon car silently pulling up outside.